full players, but don't forget Oxygen's ability. Joessi, any cheeky predictions as the match comes underway?
I mean, I'll just be on my own here, Danny. I really do favour Oxygen yesterday. They were popping those last few series, especially Astro. Once he found his groove, he's just such a strong player, and I do believe he might just be a bit too much to handle for Team Liquid here.
Well, bold prediction here. People might say biased, people might say accurate, but let these 6 players do the talking on the field. And Farah opens up Team Liquid. Slow start, 1-0.
But that's a slow start that we saw yesterday as well. Team Liquid really struggling with those kickoffs. And the early games, they were 3-0 down in that first 30 seconds in their first series yesterday, or 2 days ago actually. But right here, it's not 3 goals, it's only 1 in 30 seconds. So if you compare it to that, they're looking quite right.
Well, that's standard, yes, but still trailing. Not an ideal start for Liquid as Josette lellers it downfield and Cooks moves around. Team Liquid here haven't found each other, not in their passing, they're just trying to deal with the immediate threat that Oxygen Resort presents themselves in speed. Loose ball, but leaves Cooks though to push upfield, and Oxygen moving, tantalizing mistake there in speed. 1 touch, 2 touch, into the middle to 30, and speed cannot score that.
One ball pass Cooks here as well, but I'm liking the offense from Team Liquid. They're not scared to commit that third one either, but they pay the ultimate prize. Yet another goal by Kerr. He's not normally the one to score them. He's got his 2nd of the game.
That's amazing how they move into the situation. And one thing that Des really did not touch on, Joessi, as well. This is Fruity's old team. Astral came in, replaced him as well. So he has to have a statement here to prove that he is as good, or if not better, than his 2 former teammates.
Well, right now, he's not doing exactly that, Danny. Right now, he's looking like Oxygen is a stronger team, at least the one with the strongest start here. Almost another goal, finding the net there. I do like, though, and why I do somewhat favour Team Liquid, is their ability to pressure and get out of that pressure, because those demos and those nasty plays, demolitions coming in big for that team. But that doesn't matter if you're training 3-0. That really makes it hard to get into the first game.
Well, they were 3-0 down against BDS in their opening series here at the Grand Prix. It is shocking to think Liquid is falling backwards on that staircase. As I said, taking the next step up, as a few of the casting panel said, the likes of Digital Bacon, but Fruity tries to move across. So set wide, and Cooks anywhere infield pass. Speed was probably falling, no double, as it was taken away by Astral, so Set can be leashed on the attack now.
And Joessi is the one that I'm looking at today for Oxygen. We've talked about Astro, everyone always talks about Astro, but from the old days, from when Fruity was still on this team, Joessi has the exact same potential on him. However, he hasn't looked too great yet. He needs to give a lot of space to Astro to be able to do his thing, and he starts to become more of this supportive player rather than a carry, and he's still yet to find his absolute inner beast in this new role.
Well, Fruity, he's got that one set up, and he gets Liquid off the ground. He rockets that one in, and finally Liquid does something in the first game.
Beautifully wraps around the ball, gets the angle down. 3-1 is a fact. I'm wondering whether it's going to be enough in this game, but it's good for Team Liquid to be on the board. It's still half of a game left. They've got plenty of time. They just need to play that really precise and calculated Rocket League that we've seen from them throughout the entire Grand Prix.
Speed beaten on his back wall. Cooks will try to push that one up. Speed still playing on the same flank, trying to move it down. Cooks, Fruity's already scored one. Oxygen wasn't going to take that chance again, and here comes Speed, moves across. Cooks. No bump, pre-flip was there. Astral well astute to the fear, and Oxygen are just seeing Liquid pass the ball left and right, back and forth, but a shame it's away from each other. 2 minutes, and Liquid trails by 2.
And one thing that I do notice a lot with this team is the amount of double commits coming out from Team Liquid. Ooh, that's a poor miss for Speed. It ends up working out, but they've got quite a lot of double commits, and Trudy was talking about it on his stream as well, and he said he didn't mind all the double commits because they are just hitting the ball when they need to, and that second guy sometimes is insurance, and the third guy is often positioned well enough that it doesn't matter that you're committing 2 people into the play. Just like here, I think that's a shot that shouldn't go in, but it ends up working out for Fruity.
One mistake by Oxygen, Liquid let right through, steaming now Astral with that mistake too, and Joessi. We said Liquid are slow starters. If they get away with this one, what a chance they get through the front door.
Yeah, and especially against a team like Oxygen, who is so reliant on their mentality and their momentum. If they cannot find their way into the game, they're always going to have a very, very hard time. But the absolute just resilience inside of Team Liquid right here already showing in game 1, which is why they've had such good results so far. However, this one probably won't be up there. Farah bagging a hat trick for himself yet again on the counter. It is Oxygen finding the goal.
Liquid had a chance, and in fact they had double commit, pushed too far. The extension, well, you can see by the scoreline 4-2, not ideal by Liquid. They've been here before. Let's not forget their opening start in Pool A already went and so set, trying to pile on the damage that's already been conceded on Liquid, as Astral deep in the final third of his own half, trying to push it further. But under the 60 seconds here, I think Liquid might just be happy to concede and move on.
I think Liquid is a team that doesn't really care too much about that first game anyway. They have an engine that takes a long time to get started, and the fact that they're keeping up so close to Oxygen in this game 1, bagging another goal in the 3-4 now. We might actually see a full-on comeback here from Liquid, Danny.
Well, Liquid fans will be hoping for that. The defense in game 1 has been shocking, to say the least. And Coxer, one chance, it looked like he may have misfired or a bump, either or. Liquid had a chance, they didn't take it, and Farah could just pile another shot on target. It is there. Cox back in time, sweeps across, lets it downfield. They rather have Oxygen to make a mistake, and speed is up. There was a bump by Fruity on Astral. Doesn't matter as he got to the ball, and poor Cox can't get quick enough. 10 seconds, the clock is against Liquid.
It certainly is, Danny. Only 5 more seconds and they're out in their own half. Their own defense really can't find the touch either. And the demo from Ferry got 3 calls, got the demo to secure it all. It is Oxygen taking this first game.
Well, Oxygen and taking a fairly substantial lead at the start there against Liquid. Yes, it was a bit more calmer, Joessi, but we've been here before with Liquid. We've seen their opening game, and yet it's just every time they have a chance, they're just not willing to pull the trigger.
It's very awkward for Team Liquid because it's the same that we saw them in their previous group stage as well, where they take a while to get started. It really works out well for them in Vitality, but the first matches in most of their series, that first game is just not good enough, and it is one of the biggest issues that the team is facing right now. I feel like overall the kickoffs not too great either. They often get just completely they find themselves in such awkward positions against this Oxygen side, but just in general out of kickoffs, and it is very unfortunate for them.
A bit unfortunate there, as we've seen by the stats alone at the end of the screen. The ball possession favouring Liquid, the boost about even, same with the domination on the field, but yet game 2 approaching. Liquid trails 1-0 in the series. They need to find a way to bounce back. They done so, and Cox tried to delay the kickoff. Nice and light here, but Fruity back, so with speed. They're in their final third. Oxygen double commit. Here is a chance for the counter to set the sides. No, back into the middle. Astral to the backboard. There's a stacking going on here, and Fruity 50s in speed. 1v1. We've seen how good he was at the salt mine. We maybe scratch that one, but Oxygen on the ball.
That's very not so nice, Andy, from you. That's alright. It is still Team Liquid now. This time the start of the game is a bit better. It's safer at the very least, but their backboard defense hasn't been too great. Cookson now does get the touch this time. Overall, we've seen a couple of misses, and Farah, it's just the absolute mechanical god so far in this game. I'm not quite sure where that came from, but he's pulling off a flip reset. I think Astro may have been coaching him a bit.
Astral moving down, and that's our 1-0 lead already in game one. Was devices enough? And so far this minute, a bit more even between the two sides. Oxygen has the opening 30 seconds of pressure. Liquid trying to respond likewise, but here is the attack. Oxygen has just been peppering these. Haven't found a way right through. Speed might have a chance here in Liquid. The confusion here on their positioning, it's gone backwards and forwards. And so far, Joessi, that's going to cost them.
Yeah, it does, but I see the link-ups really starting to come along for Team Liquid. A bit of passing play there. I love how they're not afraid to put one person upfield. If you watch the highlight reel before the show as well, there were so many good passing opportunities from this team, and they're often positioned beautifully to be able to receive each other's passes. Even if they do find themselves upfield, they either go for these bumps or they go for the passes. And it's a team that I think, as a team, has performed the best so far.
Coxer, one touch, one shot, dealt by the keeper. Might be performing better. Oxygen, they've yet to get the goal in game two. They separate, they finally do so. Liquid are helpless.
You ask for the goal, but be careful what you ask for, because Oxygen delivers. It's Astral down to Joessi. The defense nowhere to be found. No one contesting that. No 50 on that shot from Joessi, and as a result, it just slowly creeps into the goal, and Oxygen leading once more.
Also trying to delay his last man that situation. You've seen Speed and Pretty attempting the kickoff. Astral, slow, methodical little play there. Speed will be beaten there. Kerr has been a thorn to Coxer's career for a majority of it. Beaten up to the ball again, trying to outplay Kerr. Off the ball by his former teammate, allows Fruity and Speed. There is attacking press happening, half the game gone. 1-0, favouring Oxygen. Liquid cannot defend here. They have cuts to hold them out for the time being, but how long is that sticking lads are going to last?
Not that long, I don't think, Danny, because Team Liquid, as much as I like their passing plays right now, it feels like they're getting into each other's space a bit too much. Those double commits that we talked about earlier, there's really a thorn in their sights right now. Missed touch on the wall as well there for Fruity, and I feel like he should be the one that provides all the offensive pressure. He needs to get these bumps and these demos, because that's what's been working wonders so far for Team Liquid. But if he's forced to go back and defend, he cannot do that, and as a result, Liquid can't really find the attack.
Well, Coxer moves up, Speed, it's set up nicely. Anybody from Liquid, no seems to be the answer. Pretty dropped all the way back for Booze. Coxer was waiting on the opposite side, and Oxygen has a free range on that right-hand side of Liquid to do some damage. Cut back over to Fruity, no touch here, and Speed is circling all his way back to his defensive third, trying to get that passing play that Joessi loves so much, but the shooting is appalling by Team Liquid standards.
It really, really is. It's not even putting the defense in awkward situations, it's just getting the ball in the direction of net and nothing more. Defense from Oxygen will always be good enough to parry those type of attacks being thrown at them, and as a result, you only have one more minute to go here, Danny, and it's Team Liquid that is under pressure. Coxer does find the save, keeps them standing just a little while longer.
For the time being, really is the clock against Liquid. They have to respond. They need to tie it up here. OT would be nice if you're a Liquid supporter. And Kerr doesn't like that idea. He really doesn't like that idea. Kerr is making the ingredients for a 3-0 series sweep against Team Liquid.
The desk was on the side of Team Liquid, so are you, Danny, but right now you've got to be sweating just a little bit. That counter-attack didn't even seem too dangerous, but Fruity just a bit too far upfield as a third man. He's not found his real position yet, the position that he should be in to get the save. Those type of opportunities, tough on the side of Liquid right now. None of the players are actually playing as good as we expect from them.
Really trying to move across there. That expectation level was extremely high. Can you blame them when Liquid 3-0 Renault Vitality earlier in the group stage to get into this position at top of the seeding in the group? And so far, Oxygen and Esports, after a sluggish Pool B for themselves here, Crafters, had to leave after all those game 5s, you see.
Is my accent that Scottish that I start to sound like Crafties?
I don't know. Let chat decide on which accent on that one is. But Oxygen Esports, you have to have them. They are thrashing Liquid 2.
Yeah, it's been a really, really one-sided affair. It's been Team Liquid not really finding the offense, and they do find the demos. Fruity's gotten 2, but 5 on the side of Oxygen. It just seems like they're beating Liquid at their own game. Liquid, they need their positions to be right. They need to get that pressure going in order to score, but they're not being allowed that at all. It's just every single time they find themselves in a defensive position, a demo comes in from the side of Astral or Farah in this game, and it's game over for Liquid, back to defense, and they're getting scored on by Farah on all these counterattacks.
Yeah, it's sort of an interesting situation where Liquid finds themselves helpless as well, and the annoying factor if you're from Liquid is as well, they're passing, they're fending each other, they're trying to make something work, yet they can't connect. The passing in the final third has been far from standard. Their shooting accuracy, or even their shots in general, are, I wouldn't say diabolical, it hasn't got that bad just yet, but if we lose 3-0, I'll use the word. But speaking about Game 3, Joessi, here it is.
Well, that's a bit of a threat, and I hope that Team Liquid takes it serious, because you're the team with 100% win rating. You need to want to keep it up at the very least, and it hasn't even looked like Team Liquid wanted. That's how lackluster some of these opportunities have been. I agree with you, it's all down to the passing. If Liquid can find their groove together, find these passes and especially shots to be better, it's going to look great for them, but it hasn't been the case yet.
Last round moving back here, the goal scoring by Liquid has been timid. They've only played 8 games technically. They've only had 2 goals per series, and there the man Fruity just watches Ferrer knock that one in. And what an incredible start for Oxygen. That 3-0 sweep over Liquid will do them a world of good.
I think Ferrer's just mad that people are saying that he's not that quick and that he doesn't have the mechanics, because this series has been all on his shoulders, and alongside 2 amazing players, that is such a feat from Ferrer, the oldest Rocket League players at the moment, but he really pulls his weight in this series so far.
Well, it's nice to see the ability by Oxygen. They stepped up to the plate. There was a few question marks on them. Liquid, they sort of had a decent honeymoon period. It could effectively be over. Yes, don't get me wrong, they'll be in the loser side of things, but Joessi making it 2, potentially a little bit too high though, and Cooks. Well, I think it's just the end of the road here already. They're just walloping the ball left, right and centre. There's no cohesion at all, and Ferrer's just taking advantage there.
Yeah, Ferrer, absolute man of the match so far, and if these 4 minutes continue, I could see him bagging that as well, but the speed has got a bit of an answer here for Team Liquid. I'm not quite sure what happened, that ball just lingering and sent Fruity popping off of it. Cooks is still going for the 50, and it went past a lot of resources in the offense there for Team Liquid, but it worked out.
One apiece. Liquid given a lifeline at the 92nd mark already, and Fruity moving down here. They need to get the lead, they need to score quickly. That shot, saved by Joessi. There is still life somewhat in Liquid, but so far here they have been pummeled, they have been outclassed, outbeat by every department possible, and Ferrer delays that one. Cooks won't be beaten, 2 minutes remains.
Yeah, they're really just getting outpaced by Oxygen. Every single ball that we see, 2 players of both teams commit to it. It seems like it's always going to be Oxygen, and they just outsmarting Team Liquid as well. That's such a cheeky touch there from Joessi as well. Doesn't result into a goal. There's constant pressure on the goal for Liquid. They're forced to make all these saves, and they just keep it coming on the side of Oxygen. That's Ronelli with a beautiful air drag.
Cooks, solid 50, but it goes against them, and Liquid are under pressure. They need speed to beat speed. He gets one touch away, but it won't go any further as Ferrer has pounded and hold on to the ball. Excellent by the man with so much experience under his belt. A speed looking for the infield pass. It was a pinch over to Fruity. They are trying desperately to make something happen, but sadly the time machine of that 100% win rate could be over after the series here. 1 goal is required, and Speed has a shot on target. So low it was, it might as well have been a lawnmower to cut the grass.
Yeah, it was not a great shot. That one from Fruity is a bit better, but cleared to the side as well. I'm sure said the chances that Team Liquid is creating just aren't too dangerous. Maybe now on the side of speed, but it's just been overall such great defense on the side of Oxygen. They're reading what Team Liquid is doing, and before the ball is even touched, they're in the right position. A bit of a double commit there, but it doesn't matter. The rest of your defense is so good.
Rudy just seen that ball going around, one touch. He has enough boost to technically work with it. It's been blocked again. Oxygen has Liquid's number, and they've been keep calling it, ringing it. And so far, Liquid keeps picking up the phone. And two distracted on the game as Astral reset their speed past two. It will be fairer once again. The rotation, that final third by them, has been near enough perfect. Move in the right position, causing Liquid pain, anguish on their faces, and Cookser moves all the way back, works past one. The second is Astral. He won't be beaten, and Fruity once more passing it to a former teammate.
It's the only thing that's separating these two teams right now is the lack of just pure commitment on the side of Oxygen. But as I say that, committing is exactly what they do. Beautiful drop down from Farah. A pass to Astro. He takes the shot, it's in. And the dream from Liquid that was alive for these last 2 days is really starting to become a nightmare here.
Nightmare? A horror story. One that we would like to forget if you're a Liquid fan, and Farah puts one in. And that will be it gone. That is Liquid, frankly, going so far advanced in ahead there. Liquid will be in the losers bracket at this point.
Oxygen just turning up the heat so much that Team Liquid absolutely evaporated here in this matchup. Oxygen really just such a strong showing. I wasn't predicting them, but I wasn't predicting it to be so convincing, Danny.
Well, just moves across there, and that 100% win rate, as our broadcaster would happily say, 67% win rate. Doesn't sound too bad, still probably one the highest around. The speed moves across, but 3-1 comes 3-2. There is hope. There is hope for Liquid. It needs to start now. Whoever's on kickoff, fake it, stall it, whatever they need to do to get it back against Oxygen.
Ooh, just one more opportunity, but even if they end up winning this, there's still a couple of games to go, Danny, and I still do not see them completely getting back into this series. It's been Oxygen that has the offensive pressure. Big miss there on the side of Astro. He still gets the ball, goes for the ceiling shot, gets a 50 as well. Ball just being taken away from Team Liquid. One more opportunity, speed now up high. Can they find any other touch? They can find the bubble! Absolute heartbreak. Fruity can't find it, and we do see the 3-0 sweep.
Can we get a check if that post is regulation size?
If that was about 20 centimeters higher, that would have been a goal for Team Liquid. That is, oh. Can we get the VAR in here?
Absolute daylight robbery, some would say, if you're biased for Liquid fan. They moved in, they had a chance, they left it too late, they only got what they deserved, and that's a 3-0 hammering against them by Oxygen Esport. They have to pick up the pieces. If they want a coach, maybe they could hit me up in the break. But speaking about coaches, Joessi, you're the coach of the former RJM yourself as well. Any advice, perhaps?
I mean, just not winning. That's the advice I could give Team Liquid. No, but in all seriousness, I as much as we love to see Liquid, I don't think they ever got to play their own game plan. It was Oxygen who completely just starved out Team Liquid in offense. They kept the pressure going. If we looked at the field domination, that was 62% all the way on the bottom. That is insane coming out from Oxygen. Basically means that the entire Team Liquid squad wasn't allowed out of their defense at any time. Both the back boost, the mid boost, everything was just being controlled on the side of Oxygen.
Well, as Heartbreak moves across there, and as you can see, 66%, not too bad, still could win you a tournament, but a performance like that, they'd be surprised to make day 2 of the playoff section here. But I'm going to need a break here to speak to the players. Quite clearly, they need a diabolical lesson. We'll see you on the other side.